So in this video, I want to talk to you about how to gain muscle without getting fat. I see this as a major sticking point for most people out there. Once they learn how to lose body fat, they then struggle with putting on muscle while limiting fat gain. I want to simplify things for you. I want to share you a strategy that works, that you can apply, the way you can think about this when it comes to actually improving your physique. At the end of the day, it's not enough to just learn how to lose body fat, but you actually have to learn how to build more muscle. So this is going to help you with your strategy so you can apply this, start getting better results. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. So the first concept that I'd like you to think about, if your goal is to gain muscle without gaining too much body fat, is really the ratio between building versus cleaning up. And here's what I mean by this. So a lot of people, when they get into this advice on building muscle, they're going to discover all this old bodybuilding philosophy stuff where it's about bulking. And they're going to go on a 6-month bulk, they're going to put on a ton of weight, and then they're going to need to do a 6-month or 5-month fat loss phase to clean up. For me, what I found works really well and what I recommend is a ratio about a 4-to-1. So if you spend 4 months gaining, you shouldn't take longer than 1 month to clean up the body fat. And this naturally starts controlling how fast are you gaining. And this could be a 5-to-1 ratio. You could even do 8-to-2 or let's say 10-to-2. And in practice, for me personally, how I apply this, I gain about 10 months or so. I clean that up in about 7 or 8 weeks, and I'm good to go with another gaining phase. And I never really let myself go. I don't want to go and gain so much body fat that I can't see my abs anymore. Might not have a completely shredded six-pack, but I like to stay relatively lean. I can still see a decent 4-pack. And then if I want to get a little bit leaner, if I start hitting that ceiling of body fat where I want to get a little bit leaner, I want to experience that a little bit more, I can go down to that 10% body fat. And again, I can bring that up back to 12. I can stay there a little bit. So I really have control. And that's really the position where I want you to be as well. You want to have these smaller changes. You don't want to have these huge swings of weight up and down. This becomes very difficult to plan for, very difficult to control. And I like personally to be leaner, and I feel much more capable. I feel like my work capacity as well, if I do sports, outdoor activities and things like that, I always like to be about a couple of weeks away from a really nice photo shoot. And that's just my personal preference. Obviously, if someone feels super comfortable at 18-20% body fat, sure, if that's your thing. My personal philosophy is to stay around that 12 to 15% body fat range for the most time. And then if I want to go down to 10 to do a photo shoot, I'm always able to do that. But I'm still trying to gain muscle in these lean gaining phases. And by the way, if you're enjoying this so far, if you find it super helpful, go below this video right now. Make sure to smash that like button for me. It means a lot to see your support. Also guarantees that you're going to get more progress, more gains in your journey. Jokes aside, it does help a ton to push this video out to more people so they can benefit in their journey. So please go ahead and do that. And now the second thing that I would like you to think about when it comes to gaining muscle without gaining fat is the nature of muscle growth, because muscle growth is not a linear process. Muscle growth actually comes in spurts, and this can throw a lot of people off because they come from the weight loss philosophy where they're seeing changes week by week and the scale can drop by a lot and you can start losing 1 or 2 pounds per week. But with muscle growth, is not as linear. It's not as predictable as fat loss. And this can lead to a lot of rash decisions where you start increasing your calories too fast, you try to force it in some way. But instead of doing that, what you got to be thinking about is the ecosystem that you're creating to enable growth to happen. Because all these things are permissive of growth. Dialing in your nutrition, that's a permission to grow. Having good recovery and sleep, that's permission to grow. Then actually focusing on your training and making sure that the training is progressing and that it's well set up with enough volume, intensity, frequency, a good setup for yourself. This is really what you're looking for. And with muscle growth, again, scale cannot be trusted. You have to actually look at proxy measures such as your performance with training that really will indicate whether you're on the right track or not. For a lot of people, they're not looking at training performance at all. They're looking at the scale and they end up lifting the same weight month by month, 6 months later, same weight, same results. You don't really gain much muscle if you're doing the exact same performance as always, if you're not really challenging yourself. So keep this in mind. When you're setting up your lean gaining phase, use those proxy measures and also have some objective third-party person to look over your photos to really see if you're progressing or not. You have to be real and honest. Otherwise, you could be, again, eating a lot but not making any gains. That happens to a lot of people, so keep this in mind. Also, another thing to keep in mind is to make sure to subscribe below as well to get new videos that I'm going to release for you to help you out on your fitness journey. So also enable notifications. Also, do make sure to hit that like button as well. It means a lot to me. Details for coaching if you want to work with me directly are in the description below, so check those out, and I will see you in that next video.